Now we're going to take a closer look at newly released figures from the RNLI, which highlight the scale and importance of its life-saving work across Ireland. Last year alone, RNLI Lifeboats launched 967 times with volunteer crews, bringing 912 people to safety. A very powerful reminder of how quickly situations can turn dangerous on the water. Joining me now is Dr. Eleanor Hooker, Lifeboat Press Officer with Lough, Derg RNLI. Eleanor, good morning to you.
Good morning, Helen. Thank you very much.
Those numbers really, I suppose, eye-catching. 912 people brought to safety, 17 lives saved. I guess for people maybe not familiar with figures from the RNLI on an annual basis, how significant was 2025 compared to other years? Was it a standout, or is that pretty much par for the course?
I think it's pretty much par for the course, and those figures represent the whole of the island, where there are 46 lifeboat stations looking after the coast and inland. More locally in Lough Derg, we launched 17 times and brought 21 people to safety, and 3 of those were in the hours of darkness. But, you know, the RNLI and Coast Guard, their water safety messages are getting across. But nevertheless, the new figures show just how demanding last year was, and every launch represents someone in urgent need, and volunteers drop everything to help. And so it's important to get the numbers out and to let people know that the lifeboat service is required, is needed, is as vital as ever.
And those 17 launches on Lough Derg, do they reflect, Eleanor, any sort of changing patterns in how people are using the water locally? And, what type of incidents be it Lough Derg or nationally, are you most commonly responding to? Is it boating, paddleboarding, those kind of things?
Well, nationally, over the island, paddleboaters getting caught by offshore winds, walkers getting stranded by the tide is frequent occurrence. And on Lough Derg, it's boaters getting into difficulty with engine failure, or perhaps misreading their charts and straying off the navigation route and going into the shallows. And those are pretty much constant for us.
I know, you're launching and rescuing people day and night. 280 launches happened at night, which I guess presents particular challenges in terms of the call-outs for your crews.
Yes, and the lifeboat launches without prejudice. There's no judgment. When somebody's in need, we go and help them. The water safety advice and classes and lessons for the public happen as an extra. So when we get the call, we launch. There's no questions. If somebody needs us, we're there for them, and that's very, very important, because people sometimes are reluctant to make the call, afraid that they'll be judged or that they were foolish. But no, because if you wait, the situation changes so dramatically. It's important the minute you think you're in danger or you're in trouble, dial 999 or 112 and ask for the Coast Guard, and then they will launch the assets that's required in that area and available.
So we heard the numbers, 17 launches in Lough Derg last year, 912 people brought to safety nationally. But whilst you have saved people who have put out a call, the RNLI itself is putting out its own Mayday call. Why is fundraising so critical?
Well, the RNLI relies entirely on the generosity of the public to power its life-saving work. And without that, with the funds that the public raise, you supply kit, training, the best lifeboats, the research into maintaining a service that is absolutely world-renowned. And so all of that goes right into the training and the crew. In the RNLI, the volunteers, the lifeboat crew are at the top. It's an upside-down triangle, and so the base is at the top, and that's all the volunteers down to the pinnacle where the staff and the trainers are. So it keeps us afloat. And the Mayday Mile, this fundraising, all of that, every cent of that will go into the lifeboats and maintaining the service.
Yeah, so tell us more about the RNLI Mayday Mile, when exactly it's taken place, what's involved, and how people can contribute to it to enable the RNLI to continue the incredible work it does on an annual basis.
Well, the participants are challenged to cover a mile a day for the month of May, with every cent raised helping to make sure that the charity's lifesavers have everything they need to keep people safe this summer and beyond. And it's simple for people to support a simple way for people to support our volunteers. So if to sign up for the Mayday Mile or to make a donation in support of the RNLI, the participants can visit rnli.org/support Mayday. And so whether you walk, skip, hop for the month of May for 1 mile and get sponsorship for that, it supports every one of us who are volunteers with the charity.
And while all of the people who you have helped are grateful that the RNLI exists, and we're all grateful should we one day need your services, I'm sure the less calls you have to answer would be a positive sign, because more and more people are being cautious and heeding safety advice. So as we approach the summer months, Eleanor, what key safety message or advice would you have for people in Clare and beyond?
I would say wear a life jacket always, or a flotation device for the activity that you're involved in. Carry a means of communication, either a VHF or a fully charged mobile phone in a waterproof pouch. People who've gone swimming, who've got into trouble, have found that has saved their lives. Wear a bright coloured hat if you're swimming in a flotation device. Go in company. Don't go alone at all. If you're leaving shore, let somebody know where you're planning to go and when you plan to arrive and when you plan to come back, so that if you're overdue, that they can raise the alarm. Pay attention to the weather forecast. If you're unsure of an area, don't get in the water. Ask the locals. Locals know their stretch of water like the back of their hand. Just turn around and ask somebody around you, is it safe to go out today? And if they say no, pay attention to that. People go to the coast to have fun. People come to Lough Derg to have fun and to stay active and to stay fit. But things change so quickly. So the best thing to do is to be prepared and plan your trip and enjoy it. I mean, Lough Derg is east of Eden. We all know that. And so we have people really coming to enjoy the beauty of it during the summer. But be prepared, and for your children, make sure that you know where they are. Even things down to wearing factor 50, protect your skin. If you're on the water, the glint of the water can cause skin damage. So these are all things that I would say are sound advice for the public. Okay,
and we hope as many people as possible this morning are listening to that advice and keeping it in mind, not just over the summer, but beyond. Eleanor, we wish you well with the fundraising initiative for Mayday Mile, and continue to keep up the great work, you and all your colleagues there at the RNLI. Thanks very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for your support, Alan. Take care.